Hey everyone, this is PrinceBrightstar, and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV Shadowbringers. So today we've got the new Eden raid available to us called Eden's Gate, and that all starts right here in the Crystarium with this NPC over here. So let's go ahead and talk to them, and let's get this unlocked in the middle of nowhere. Ah, Prince, have you seen Reem? She's been looking for you. Wait here, I'll go and get her. There you are. The truth is, I need your help. Now hold on, I haven't even told you what it is yet. After you defeated Emmett's cell, I sensed a strange concentration of light somewhere far to the south. In the empty, the lands that were once swallowed by the flood. I can't tell what it is, but we have to find out. For all we know, it might even be another Light Warden. But whatever it may be, I don't intend to stand by and watch. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. Thancred, Urianger, and I have a few theories that we plan to test once we find whatever's causing this. The three of us were reluctant to ask for your help, considering everything that you've been through. The thing is, you're the only person who can defeat a Light Warden without becoming one yourself, so we have no choice. While we don't want to jump to conclusions, it would be a good idea to have you there, just in case. So, will you come with us? I wouldn't have it any other way. Thank you, Prince. This means a lot. First of all, let's head to the derrick in Amarang. Thancred and Urianger should have everything ready by now. Alright, so we are going to make our way over to Amarang. Let's start in Twine, and then we'll figure out where to go from there. Okay, so it looks like we actually need to head down here to the inn at Journey's Head. And we will drive ourselves to the south. Or I suppose we could just fly as well. I hope the desert creatures didn't give you too much trouble on the way here. I doubt they'd posed any sort of challenge to him. Would that I could say the same with confidence about whatever fiend may be waiting for us out there. Even if the light that Reem sensed turns out to be nothing of consequence, the empty is hardly the most welcoming of places. Anything that could survive out there is not to be trifled with. Moreover, it should be reiterated that the light-based wasteland poseth as severe a threat as any foe we might face. In any event, we are in agreement that this phenomenon doth warrant investigation, though for lack of more precise means of navigation, we must needs rely on Reem's innate abilities to guide us. I have formed several hypotheses regarding the nature of the light, but speculation is a poor substitute for first-hand observation. There'll be plenty of time for us to talk about it on the way. Is the Sky Skippler ready, Thancred? ready to take us wherever we need to go, aye. Back again too, maybe, if we ask it nicely. Though the light hath been expunged from Nordvand, the ambient aether of the empty is still corrupted, dangerously so in fact. The flood of light devastated everything in its wake, the soil, the air, the water, all rendered incapable of supporting life. 'Tis due to this imbalance that the empty remaineth utterly uninhabitable, even a century thereafter. That's why we're taking every possible precaution. Between the aetherometers I packed and Reen's unique abilities, we should be able to detect and measure any fluctuations in our alignments. According to the Crystarium scouts, a few days out there won't affect us to any noticeable degree, but much longer than that, and we risk becoming Sin Eaters. Since we still don't know how Chocobos and Amaro will fare in the empty, we opted for a more mechanical mode of transportation. This comes courtesy of the researchers at the Mean, who found it in the Crystal Tower and restored it to working order. It's quite safe, I promise. The person in charge said he'll have parts delivered from the Crystarium should anything break. He seemed quite eager to see what we bring back from the empty, even though I told him we're not hunting for treasure. I'll introduce you if we have a chance to stop by Mordsuk at some point. Anyway, I think that covers everything. When you're ready to leave, just say the word. Well then, shall we? Let us depart for the empty. With a name like The Empty, I wasn't expecting much in the way of pleasant scenery, but this is downright depressing. To look on the land swallowed by the flood with mine own eyes. 'Tis a chilling sight indeed. Approximately 9/10 of this world are as this, a slate all but wiped clean. Were it not for the warriors of darkness in Minfilia. Reen, are you sure we're headed in the right direction? Yes, I'm certain. There's no telling how far away it is, though. Nothing for it but to keep going, then. You two back there may as well take a nap. I have a feeling we've a good few moms ahead of us. I have to say, it's a touch larger than I was expecting. And is it sleeping? No, it's waking up. I don't like the sound of that. Is it a light warden? No, I don't think so. Instead of being filled with light, it is light. The first Sin Eater. Long have I strived to unravel the mysteries surrounding the flood of light, to discover what set that terrible cataclysm in motion. Every thread led to the same conclusion, the same single point. Or single being. I have reason to believe that the entity we see before us is the first Sin Eater, the instigator of the flood, the very foe Minfilia vanquished a century ago. She gave everything she had, and won. But this abomination could undo her work. Aye, the possibility cannot be denied, though it is oft said that destruction and creation are but two sides of the same coin. Reen, knowest thou of what I speak? The power to shape reality, to bend the laws of nature, for what was once shattered may be forged anew. That's all well and good, but don't you think we should give it a name first? Eden. Utopia in Fae. A most auspicious title. Now that that's settled, perhaps we should find a spot to set up a camp. I even brought a couple of tents on the off chance, but pitching the damn things is something of a fine art. Does anyone fancy helping me? Let's do it. Alright, let us speak to Reen. Oh! This is the Final Fantasy VIII world music. Yeah, so this kind of confirms what's going on here. The fact that Eden is referencing the Guardian Force Eden from that game. I never realized that putting tents up could be such a bother. Still, I'm glad that we got there in the end. Thancred should be back from scouting the area soon. Once he's here, we can plan our next move. During the course of your investigation, you may discover valuable artifacts. These can be exchanged for equipment by speaking with Gul Gul in Mordsuk or Yal Yal in Yolmor. Okay. Doesn't seem like there's too much that we can actually access over here. It's just another empty area with a very small map. I wonder what's taking Thancred so long. Ah, there he is. Well, that was rather uneventful. Not that I'm complaining. Did you find anything? No, thankfully. There's naught but barren plains in every direction, apart from Eden, obviously. I tried approaching it, and the brute didn't even seem to notice me. I thought it best not to tempt fate, so I withdrew. We should act now before it's fully awake. Meaning what, exactly? When I think about the flood of light, I get the feeling that rather than destroying everything in its path, what it actually did was stop the flow of aether. Of course, that meant that all the plants, animals, and people here could no longer survive. They must have crumbled to dust in the years since. But the aether is still here, lying dormant. If Eden is the one that caused it, maybe I can get it flowing again. I'm wondering if maybe you might want a hand from Y'shtola, because we just did something like this back in Stormblood. I don't know for certain, but I think I can use Eden to bring life back to the empty. Now, hold on a moment. What makes you think that's even possible? And how do you expect to control that kind of power? Reen's aspirations may not be as preposterous as thou dost surmise. I believe Minfilia halted the flood of light's advance not by destroying Eden, but by silencing it. And in so doing, she hath gifted us an opportunity too precious to waste. Even now, the flame of hope burns on. Aye, as Minfilia's successor, it standeth to reason that Reen doth possess the means to exert her will over Eden. But such a monumental task is not to be taken lightly. What sayest thou, Prince? I imagine this is easier said than done. Yes, you're probably right, but I have to try. Very well, Reen. You've made up your mind. So, how should we go about this? I have an idea. I've been studying it carefully ever since we arrived, and it seems to me that the light is more concentrated at a certain point. I suppose you could call it the core. That giant Talos had a core too, like a beating heart. It controlled the flow of aether. If Eden's core is the same, perhaps we could use it to restore the etheric balance? The theory is certainly sound. By employing Aethernet shards as beacons, mayhap we could trace the ethereal flow to Eden's core, and in doing secure the means to teleport to the very heart of the beast. Thankfully, the Settlement Council has kindly furnished us with a plethora of apparatus by which to perform such feats. However, we must needs first have Reen study the entity's interior and chart us a suitable course. Once we have reached our destination, I shall fabricate a means by which you may directly communicate with Eden, and mayhap exert a measure of control over it. You can really do that, Urianger? All credit is due to a dear friend, a gentle soul long since departed, who imparted to me a wealth of knowledge concerning aetherology. Although I am certain she would be all too quick to chastise my methodology. This is starting to sound like something that Mumbrita taught him. Excuse me for interrupting this trip down memory lane, but I don't imagine that Eden will be too happy about us rummaging around its innards, for want of a better term. In all seriousness, though, I wouldn't be surprised if there is some sort of welcoming party arranged for intruders. Perhaps you had best lead the way, Prince? It's true that he's the only one who can defeat a Light Warden, but I'd rather not rely on him any more than we have to. Yes, I haven't forgotten what happened when he absorbed too much light, but as Alice said, making promises you have no way of keeping is not a kindness. Now, I wish I could put down wardens myself, but the simple fact is I can't, and there's no point pretending I can. That's why I'm asking Prince. Then perhaps I could... You already have a job to do, remember? The only reason this plan even has a chance of success is because of your involvement. We need you to concentrate on the task at hand and guide us to the core. Not only that, you'll have to keep an eye on Eden itself. If we somehow manage to make it angry, get us out of there. Are you sure you want to go through with this? For lack of any better plans, this one will have to do. I won't let you down. Though we will remain here, Reen and I shall do our utmost to guide thee along the ethereal stream. After thou hast breached the exterior, we shall remain in contact via these link pearls, courtesy of our comrades in the Crystarium. Okay, seriously, why were link pearls not given out to everyone, like, way back during the main scenario? Being relics salvaged from the Crystal Tower. Oh, okay, got it. So these came from the Crystal Tower, and were not actually, I guess, available on the first then. Being relics salvaged from the Crystal Tower, I fear that they may be somewhat less reliable than those to which thou art accustomed. Alright, quest accepted. So, Eden's Gate Resurrection now accessible. Hey, Deposing Soldier, welcome to the stream. I would like to point you to the music that's playing now, actually. Because, yeah, this pretty much cements that this is exactly that Eden that you're talking about here. Since this is the overworld theme for Final Fantasy VIII. Alright, so, Eden's Gate Resurrection. Let us queue in. As of late, I've noticed that it is taking a little bit longer for this information to pop up. Oh wow! Even now, the average wait time is still extremely high for tanks. And I tried to get myself ready as a healer just in case, but unfortunately, I don't think I actually make the minimum eye level. Let me double check that real quick though, because that might still be an option here. Yeah, I would need to be 425, and I'm currently 420 on my healer. Alright, so, while we wait here, Marines' discovery of a vast concentration of light prompts an expedition into the barren wastelands left in the wake of the flood known as the Empty. There you encounter the immense and enigmatic Eden, the very first Sin Eater, and the progenitor of the destruction that all but consumed the world. Rather than seeking to end this threat once and for all, Green hopes to use its limitless power to restore the ethereal balance of the Empty and breathe life into the planet. However, she must first gain control of Eden's core, which is likely to have countermeasures for repelling intruders. Alright, let's see if there is anything else around here. I guess let's speak with our party members while we wait. The teleportation apparatus hath been calibrated successfully, and I believe the probability of irreversible disintegration to be relatively low. Disintegration? We're ready when you are, Prince. Can't get this bloody thing lit. Must be because the aether has stopped flowing, just as Reen said. Okay, looks like this is actually ready for us to go, so let's go ahead and hop in. That wait was a lot shorter than I was expecting. So what do we have? Now that sounds like force your way. Be careful, huge amounts of aether are rushing to the core. Wait, what's that? Keeper of Knowledge, Eden Prime. Wow, from the start, we're just taking on Eden Prime. Alright. Let's have something to eat. So let's do a countdown, and we'll get this going. That looks like a tank cleave. Titan's Gravity. Okay, healers have to heal through that. Vice and Virtue. Okay, so players need to spread out. And then get in. Got another Vice and Virtue here. I think that went on to both the tanks. Pure Light. And it looks like we need to get behind it, since it's not changing its direction. I think one of the healers may have just rescued that player. Oh, that's a busy AoE. There's a lot of healing that needs to go out during this. Oh, I see them over there. Didn't quite make it. Unfortunately, we don't have a way to get the two healers up at this point. Alright, what is this? Okay, so this is going to be an ad phase. And the two tanks are going to have to pick these up. Me being one of them, of course. And I believe we're going to have to split them 1 and 1. Alright. Let's get another countdown going. Once again, since I have the ability to help out, I'm going to hold off on using my Requiescat and using my magical attack so I can help with healing here. Especially since these lower level bosses typically don't have a hardened rage phase like the Savage bosses do. Alright, so once again, this is going to be directed at the two tanks. And then they should be moving into place pretty soon. Go. I just realized I had my, my game music up a little too high there. Alright, now we gotta get into place here. Alright, I'm gonna try to get Dawn up here. What happened? You know what? I get the feeling that you can't actually fall off the platform, and instead you can't touch the green line. Yep, that's exactly what's going on. Alright, I've asked Dawn to take the boss this time, since I've got that minute of res sickness right now. I'm not sure if that's a glitch that's popping up, or if that's actually intended that there's that small line that keeps appearing. That appears to be safe for a moment. Okay. Alright, here come the beams. And you want to start to move your way over to where Eden Prime is. Alright, we should be headed into the ad phase fairly soon. Alright, I don't see a buff on them that says that they're gaining any strength from being too close to each other, so that's at least some good news. But that could be something that we'd see in Savage. Okay, that's one of them down. So we're making progress on the fight. And this looks like this might be the ultimate. Alright, let's get back to it. Alright, so it looks like the fight might be repeating from here. Yep, here comes the dimensional shift. And now here come the beams. And then we just need to watch out for where Eden Prime goes to. They are over here. The question is this going to be another ad phase? No, it is not. This is Vice and Virtue again, which means they got to get back into the middle. And then Eden's Gravity. Alright, so Don got some stacks there, so I took over. Alright, here's the Delta attack again. And then we're probably going to have lights again soon. Yep, here come the beams. And they are headed for this corner. You don't need to immediately get there, because you want to make sure you have space for everybody to still do what they gotta do. But at least know that you need to make your way there. Dimensional shift. Okay, so it looks like we're at the point where the fight is just repeating itself. I think at 5% we'll be in better shape to know that we're not going to need help from the healers at that point. Alright. We need to tank this. Spear of Paradise. Alright, now they should be able to push the LB. And that's it! Eden Prime is down! Once again, sorry for the bad audio at the start there. I didn't realize I had my audio pushed too high on the game. Alright, let's see what we got for loot. We actually got a lot of stuff here. I think I'm gonna go for the belt if I can. No, that's not gonna happen, probably. How about the bangles then? And the reason I'm going for the lower for the accessories here is more because I expect we're going to, or rather, my plan is to go more for the heavy armor with the next tombstones once they come out. I guess I'll also try for the helm and feet. Nope, I got a bangle. So that's it. I have to pass on the rest of it, and that's fine. But that means, at the very least, I will have a piece of gear to grab. Alright, Reem. It seems that Thancred's prediction about there being some sort of guardian was right. Thankfully, it was nothing that you couldn't handle. And I'm glad to say that you haven't absorbed any light either. So far, so good. Now that the way is clear, the Aethernet shards can send us to the core and back whenever we need. Why don't we give them a try? Okay. Let's proceed to the core. Wow, this place is filled up. Once Urianger has activated the device, it's my turn. I think I'll go for the crit hit right now. The time hath come, Reen. Watch over me, Minfilia. Is this supposed to happen? Eden is offering considerable resistance. Not now. Not when I'm so close. Urianger! I am unharmed, but what of Reen? No, you listen to me! Reen, be careful! How about that? Reen's able to make it fly like a garden. Alright, let's start the next quest here. It worked. I'm in control now, I think. Although I'm now linked to Eden, I still need to figure out how to give it commands. Pray tell, what caused it to convulse so violently? It must have been when Eden rose into the air. I'm still struggling to stop it from drifting too far from the camp. Even now thou art... Reen, what's going on? Above us! Something's coming this way. An enemy. But how dost thou... could it be a Sin Eater? I can't see them clearly, but no, that's impossible. What is it? They're inside, too. Lots of them, trying to reach the core. Uninvited guests, eh? If I'd known they were coming, I would have tidied up the place. Japes are a poor substitute for viable stratagem. In that case, I suggest that you and I deal with the ones who are already inside. And Prince can welcome our airborne adversary. Reen, find out if Eden has any defenses we can make use of, preferably ones that don't recognize us as the enemy. I'm not sure about that, but I can use the aether currents to send you wherever you need to go. That's my girl. Alright, everyone, we've got work to do. From what I can tell, Eden is able to form simple structures by redirecting ether, so I'll try to give you something to stand on. When you're ready, head for that portal over there. Eden's Gate descent is now accessible. And with that, let us go ahead and queue up for that. And once again, it looks like there's going to be a long wait on that here. But we'll see what happens. It was a fairly short wait, the last one. Reen, what do you have to say? Come on, Eden. Show me what you can do. That's it, huh? Alright. So then, let's take a look at the description of this. Having finally overcome Eden in a battle of wills, Reen is now in control of the enormous Sin Eater, which now drifts high above the empty. Your celebrations are short-lived, however, as Reen detects the presence of unknown enemies making their way towards Eden's core. While Thancred and Urianger rush to intercept a swarm of foes approaching from inside, you head to the upper reaches to face the threat from above. Alright. So, while we're waiting here... Okay, so we're unable to teleport inside of here, but it looks like we are able to make our way back over to the camp, and hopefully from there I'll be able to teleport over to Yulmore, where the trade-in for this should now be available. For the bangle I picked up a few moments ago. Here we are. So, Eden Relic Exchanger. The question is, which one do I want to grab? Looks like I've got everything as 440 except for my ring. And that one has skill speed on it. So yeah, let's go ahead and grab a new ring then. And there we go. Let's go ahead and equip this. Oh, I don't have any space in my armory chest. There we go. And yeah, it looks like the average wait time has already been cut down by about half here, so hopefully that will continue to descend as we continue to progress through the fights. Let's just take a quick look at what else they have here. The first thing I would look to actually exchange here would be my belt here, since that's just skill, speed, and tenacity. Let's see what we would get here. Oh, that's the same thing, actually. Okay, so then I might actually look to change that out with whatever the new tombstone is going to be instead, then. Because that's kind of the worst combo that you can get in terms of being a tank. I mean, skill speed does make your skills pop up faster than before, and tenacity does help with tanking, but really tenacity becomes more effective towards the end of the expansion. And right now, it's better to get more determination than critical hit. And then, of course, direct hit is just if you're not able to slot anything else in. So, since this does actually have a slot for us, let's go ahead and see what we can put on here. It's probably going to be direct hit, or not direct hit, determination. But where is that vendor? Here we go. We need the Materia Melder. just so happens I do happen to have a Savage Might Materia 8 on me. So there we go. That is all slotted in, and we are ready for the next phase of this raid. While we're waiting on that, why don't we go ahead and get a couple of fates done here. We'll make our way over to the Tempest. And something else I should note is when it comes to the rest of the story, there is another portion of the role quest that needs to be completed. I'm still in the process of leveling up the classes that are necessary. I've got White Mage at 80. I'm working on Bard and Red Mage. And probably when we start covering, or rather after I finish covering the 5.1 patch, we'll then return back to the role quest series and finish those up as well. Because there is a special bonus quest that you go through as well, once you have completed all 4 of those. And right now I've only gotten the tank one done. Alright, so in terms of local fates, looks like there's one to the northeast here. But I can't get out this way, so we'll have to go over here. Alright, there is the next portion of the raid. Let's hop in. Now, what kind of a boss is this? They're holding someone, it looks like. Voidwalker. Alright, here we go. Get in. It's pretty obvious that you don't want these Arimen to touch you. Okay, so Shadow Flame is a tank buster. I think somebody just ran off the edge. Spell in waiting. Okay, so that looks like a delayed effect. Okay, so we need to stick together until it actually goes off. There we go. Okay, so those dark flames should resolve first. Yep, there they go. Or no, they all resolved at the same time, but somebody that had one of the dark flames got back into the group, not realizing that they shouldn't have done that. Alright, let's get over here. Right now, we're just waiting for the next spell in waiting effect to happen. For these beams, you need to stand in them, or else they're going to explode. Okay. Now we can get in to help with the upcoming gather spot. Alright, who's the one? They're over there, but nobody was around them, so we couldn't help them, unfortunately. Come on, healers, please don't make me go down like that. You had plenty of time to pick me back up. here comes another round of spell and waiting. Okay, now we need to stack on this player. Alright, I'm back on it again. Okay, we need to resolve this bleed first here. And then we have to stack here. Okay, now you move out. That's probably going to be a good call by the healers there. Deep spread. Oh, that's not a good pattern. 22%. We've almost got him. Alright, here comes the next round of Spell and Waiting. I think that player just decided to take a dive rather than have the confusion. Alright, Dark Fire. %. That's the wrong button. But I'll hold this as long as I can now. And the reason I'm doing that is because it still improves my blocking regardless, so I'm still taking less damage the longer I hold it. Alright, let's push, push, push! And down they go! Nice, one and done. If a little messy. Alright, so let's look at the bangles, the helmet, the gauntlets, and the greaves. The armor and the chassis, I really don't care about, because I'm going to do that through the tombstones. Alright, we got a bangle, so that gives me another accessory to work with. Prince, thank goodness you're unharmed. We came as soon as we took care of our unwanted guests. They were a stubborn bunch, and quite unlike anything I've ever seen in the first. No, I won't let you. Damn the light, damn you all. Just who are you? Who are you? What do you want? Why am I here? What is happening? Get his helmet off. She's alive, but there's something strange about her ether. She didn't seem too pleased with Reen taking control of Eden, which may be what caused her to appear out of the blue. Beyond that, it's anyone's guess. If I had to take a guess, maybe something to do with Guardian Forces? But that's just a guess, again. 'Tis plain she is not a Sin Eater, not even in part as Vothri was. Yet this knowledge does little to assuage my fears, for she is nonetheless possessed of a power most terrible. On the other hand, if she's feeling cooperative, she might be able to tell us more about Eden. I'll keep an eye on her until she wakes up. There's no telling what will happen when she does, but I'll make it clear that we mean her no harm. Well, no further harm at the very least. Obviously, it's not a good idea to bring her inside Eden. It's likely that reaching the core was her aim from the outset, so I'll take her to the camp. Now that things have settled down, I should get back inside and try strengthening my link to Eden. Alright. Although I had my hands full, trying to control Eden, I caught a glimpse of your battle. That power, I've never seen anything like it. What thou witnessed was the tearing of the very fabric of reality, the creation of a rift through which Voidsent may enter. But pray tell, Reen, didst thou make any other observations? I couldn't sense any light at all in that girl or her servants. I can't really explain how, but she reminded me of Emmett Selk. Though I think it unlikely that she is an Ascian, she may yet be thrall to Zodiark. Maybe we'll be able to find out more once she's woken up. In the meantime, I'll try to improve my control over Eden. It seems to be listening more than before, instead of screaming at me like it was in the beginning. And that's not all. I've made an exciting discovery. Okay, and just what is that? I feel a little more confident in my ability to control Eden now. Of course, this is only the beginning. And we shall accompany thee wheresoever this path may lead. But pray tell, what manner of discovery hast thou made? I understand how Eden's power works, and therefore the true nature of the Flood of Light. Yes, it affected the balance of all of the ether in the empty, shifting it so far towards the umbral that it stopped flowing altogether. The power to tip the scales, and to tip them back again. That's what Eden does. It controls the balance of aether over a wide area, forcing it from one alignment to the other. Left alone, it still poses a threat, but if I can harness its power, I think I could use it to breathe life back into the empty. The trouble is, I haven't the foggiest idea where to start. And if I go about this the wrong way, I'll do more harm than good. Thou needst not bear this burden alone, Reen, nor should thou. 'Tis no simple matter of awakening that which lies dormant. All things in nature are inextricably linked. The elements maintain a fragile harmony, without which life cannot prosper. So what should we do? A solution hath begun to take shape in my mind, though it will require further discussion. For the time being, let us return to the camp. 'Twould be remiss of us not to involve Thancred. Alright, let's make our way over to the group. My friends, I believe I have struck upon a method by which we may see this world restored. Urianger, before you go any further, allow me to make a potently very long story slightly shorter. The plan is to control Eden and realign the aether of the empty, right? In essence, yes. However, unleashing elemental energies haphazardly will not suffice. In addition, the empty is unfathomably vast. Were we only able to effect change over one small region at a time, it would take many lifetimes to complete even a fraction of our task. Instead, our energies would be better spent revitalizing each element in order, that we might set in motion a more widespread transformation. One at a time. I hate to say this, but I don't think Eden will be able to draw out a single element without affecting the others. For that very reason, we shall select a location in which the ambient aether we wish to restore is at its most potent. Even in a dormant state, certain elements will be more prevalent, and therefore more easily manipulated. Then, we rebalance the aether and return it to the land, whereupon it shall be reborn on ethereal currents to the farthest reaches of the empty. But what's to prevent that element from breaking free of Eden's hold and causing a disaster of some sort? It must needs be contained. The question is how. Prince, indulge me a moment if thou wouldst. Pray imagine a corporeal manifestation of each of the individual elements. What dost thou see in thy mind's eye? Ifrit, Shiva, Titan, Ramu, and so on? Okay, I'll go with Mughals, because that's the funnier answer. Mayhap thou art afeard to utter the fateful word, for to even speak the name Primal is to invite misfortune. Yep, that's pretty much what I thought. Though invite it we must. As the ether is drawn forth and realigned by Eden, we shall perform a summoning as Master Louisoix once did on the fields of Carteneau. As one who hath laid low countless primals, thy memories will shape the aether in a deformed entity, which must subsequently be dispersed in the traditional fashion. So defeat it, in other words. But is that even possible? I break my fast on primals. Lest thou forget, 'twill be no more than an approximation of a foe thou hast previously bested. So not exactly the same form, then. I have every confidence in thine abilities, Prince. As do I, though it might help to have some idea of what you will be up against. Have you decided which element to tackle first? I propose water, the source of all life. So then, it will be Leviathan. As for the location, an area to the west of Nordrand was once home to the world's deepest ocean. Alas, the flood of light reduced it to a yawning chasm. Water. Yes, that seems like a good choice. I'll see if Eden can take us where we need to go. And I shall prepare for the summoning. Thancred, wouldst thou keep watch over our enigmatic antagonist? She may have vital information to impart. In the event that she becometh agitated, thou mayest have need to restrain her. Someone's got to do it, I suppose. I'll be praying for your success while I wait here, twiddling my thumbs. Still, I must say I don't envy you being caught up in yet another one of Urianger's madcap schemes. Though, come to think of it, if the creature you must fight is born from your own memories and imagination, why don't you try thinking of something a bit tamer than the primals you fought in the past? Perhaps that's not how it works. Anyway, best of luck. That's actually not a bad idea. A mini little Leviathan, maybe baby-shaped in form. That might be a good idea. Something that doesn't have access to all of its power yet. Alright, let's speak to Reen. Eden seems to be responding well to my instructions, so we should reach our destination in no time at all. Alright, this is the place. I'll see if I can draw out the water-aspected Aether. The rest is up to you, Prince. Memories of Leviathan come flooding back. So, Eden's Gate Inundation is now accessible. Let us queue up for that one. So that's going to take us about 15 minutes, it looks like. In the meantime, I will go and pick up the next of the pieces I've gotten. So back to Yulmore we go. So for the next one, why don't we go ahead and grab a new necklace. Oh wow, this one is skill speed as well. Alright. Alright, so, while we wait for this one, I'm going to take a quick 5-minute break here. Hopefully this won't pop in the meantime. I will be right back. Please stand by. Okay, I actually managed to get that done a little bit quicker than I thought, so... at this point, we're still waiting for this to pop. Looks like it's down to about 9 minutes now. We're about 33% of the way through that. So hopefully it won't be too much longer. In the meantime, let's take a look at the description here. Reen is now able to concentrate on the task of turning Eden's immense power to the task of balancing the ethereal alignment of the empty. Such a delicate task must be approached one element at a time, and Urianger suggests that the first should be water, essential to all life. However, for the Aether to be restored, it must first be given shape through a process akin to summoning. As you call upon your memories of the dread Leviathan, the raging fury... Oh, there we go. The raging fury of the deluge begins to take form. I don't remember him having two heads, but this sounds like a pretty interesting remix of the Leviathan theme. Here we go. So, Rip Current. Okay, that's just a tank buster. One of Leviathan's things was he would charge across, or rather, he would cause you to move along the platform that was the two ships that were melded together. And so I'm kind of watching for anything that might try to push me. Alright, Tank Buster. Tidal Wave. Where is it? Over here. Nobody's moving. And now Undersea Quake. Did he just shrink the platform? Yeah, I think that pretty much confirms that he can shrink the platform. Alright, that should have been his ultimate. Okay. Everybody needs to get in the center. Alright, Brand of the Fallen, everybody needs to stack for that. Alright, these Maelstroms... Where is he? Okay, I think most people get the idea of what's going on. Alright, since it seems like he doesn't want to get into tank stance, I'm gonna throw a shirk on him, just so he can pick up if need be. Tank Buster. Alright, everybody needs to get against that. Alright, and now the Undersea Quake, which is going to shorten the platform. I'll drop that one there so everybody knows where to put their stuff. Doing another tsunami. There we go. Now everybody knows what's going on. Alright, grand. Or is that working differently? Maelstrom? Alright, here comes the next tidal wave. And then here's an undersea quake, which... oh boy. At least I saw that coming. Alright, let's give this another go. So far, so good. Comes the tidal wave. And then Undersea Quake. Not a lot of space to move on there. Here's this ultimate. And it's easier to place this in the middle anyway, because we all have to stack immediately after. Rather than having one person go all the way out to the edge. Tidal Roar. Tank Buster. Tidal Wave. There we go. Oh, that's not good. I'm just gonna hold this for a second. And okay. I'm pretty much forced to sprint there. Alright, platforms are back up. Tank Buster. In the middle. Now Tsunami. Yeah, you gotta make sure you're getting pushed in the right direction there. Okay, here we go again. Oh, I didn't even see that. Yeah, that's probably the better decision here. Even I was thinking it. Looks like everybody knows to watch out for that now, though. So that's at least some good news. Alright, now we stack. Good. 5%. We almost got him. And down goes Leviathan of the First. Alright, let's see what we can grab here. So, gauntlets, bangle, helmet, and bangle. Those are the four I'm looking at right now. I think I got a shot at the bangle there. Alright, so... Oh, actually, we got the gauntlets. Okay. So I need to hope that I get the gauntlets in the last stage here, then. Alright, Reen. That was incredible! Is that what a primal looks like? Oh, not quite the same then. But why is that? The Leviathan of the Source was summoned by the Sahagin, to whom he was no less than a god. Without their faith, the deiform entity that we brought into existence differed on a fundamental level, though it was no less formidable. Manifestation relied upon Prince's experiences of Leviathan, and may have been influenced by recollections of other water-aspected beings, leading to further discrepancies. Memories brought to life. But I still can't tell if our plan actually worked. We'll just have to wait and see, I guess. How goes it? If you've finished slaying your primal or whatever it is, I suggest you get back here on the double. There's something you ought to see. Thancred needs us. What could that be? Evidently, our only recourse is to return to our base of operations forthwith. Alright, so for this one, let me grab the direct hit. Prince, look! Well, there's water. By the 12's good grace, 'tis a marvel to behold. I never thought that a whole lake would suddenly appear like this. And we're just getting started. I only hope the burden is not too much for you, Prince. Now, this feels like this could turn into a new zone, or perhaps something to do with the new, with whatever the Relics series for this expansion is going to be. Welcome, Son of Zero. I think this proves that the water-aspected ether is no longer lying dormant. So which element should we realign next, Oriange? I propose Earth. Should we succeed in returning the soil's life-giving energy, the empty shall become capable of supporting the growth of flora. Imagine that, force in the empty. But before we begin, I'd like to know how that girl is doing. Still sound asleep. She didn't so much as stir even when I took her helmet off. I thought it might be getting a bit stuffy in there, and I was curious to know what sort of person we're dealing with. She seems surprisingly normal. Not at all like your usual void scent. I'd say she's around the same age as you, Reen. Perhaps a little older. Well, whoever she is, we should let her rest while we concentrate on the task at hand. As much as I'd love to go with you, I'd best stay here in case she wakes up and is feeling less than cooperative. And while I wait here, wishing I had something to read, my thoughts will be with you as you fly off to face the next opponent. It must be a strange feeling to bring something into existence through your own willpower, only to slay it immediately after. I almost feel sorry for the poor things. All the same, I wish you luck. Did Thancred's footsteps just appear there after he disappeared? If all goes well, he won't be waiting for long. The sooner we get this over with, the sooner we can see the results. Well, if that's the case of what's going on, then probably the other 4 elements we're going to be taken care of in the next part of the raid series in patch 4.2. Unless we take care of them right now, but that would be really unusual for Square Enix to include more than 4 bosses in a raid tier. Anyway, Reen? Now, before we embark on our journey, there is one question I feel I should ask. Where are we going? I would suggest a certain region that lieth east of Nordvren, which was once home to the great Mount Atlas. And for the Earth-aspected Primal we wish to invoke, what could a more fitting choice than Titan? I don't think I've heard of that one. What's it like? The landslides! The landslides! It seems like you had a rather traumatic experience. But if our last battle is anything to go by, this one will be different from the Titan that Prince remembers, yes? It would be wise to consider the two as entirely separate beings. As such, thou must needs conceive new stratagems if thou art to triumph in the battle to come. Past experience will avail thee not, I fear. Alright, Prince. Once you're ready, we'll be on our way. It took a while, but we finally arrived. Ready, Prince? Memories of Titan come tumbling back. Eden's Gate, Sepulture now accessible. And once again, let us go ahead and queue up. Well, it looks like this one should go pretty quickly, actually, here. Alright, so... having successfully realigned the element of water following your triumph over Leviathan, the next candidate for restoration is Earth, in the hope that the empty will soon become able to support life. As before, you draw upon your experience of primals fought on the Source to shape the ether, this time recalling your fateful encounter with the Lord of Crags, Titan. Yes, I used Trust for all the leveling dungeons, going through the main scenario quest. They are definitely slower than a typical party, but at the same time, I was interested in kind of what the characters were going to say throughout things. I've also started to level them up as well post-game, so right now, Alphino, Y'shtola, and Thancred are level 72, so we're still going through the Holminster switch on my DPS characters, and then once those are done, then I'm going to switch over to Warrior, Dark Knight, and Gunbreaker for the other 3. From what I understand, there's an achievement at the end for leveling everybody up, and who knows, we might actually be able to use them in the next expansion like this as well, already leveled up. Unfortunately, everybody is crowded around Reen here, so I can't even see what she would have to say to us at this point. Yeah, I can't even find her in that mess. Alright, let's make our way back out to the empty then. Maybe Thancred has something he can say to us. Or never mind, it just popped. That is true. That is very true. So, since I'm going to level everything up to level 80, that will be useful as well. Anyway, let's hop in. Actually, where is Thancred? He should have been right here. Well, that's a bit of a mystery. Well, this Titan certainly looks different. I'm gonna break out the good food for this one. Alright, I'm gonna start a countdown, and then we'll take it from there. And that's a good Titan remix we're hearing here as well. A bit higher pitch than I remembered, though. So, Voice of the Land. Heal through. Gotta watch. Okay, this is gonna spread out. That sounds like a tank buster. Yep. Crumbling down. And then we've got these things here. I get the feeling we need to get behind this one because I think that one's going to explode. Seismic wave. Alright, let's recenter him. And he's gonna push us this way. Massive landslide. What is this? Oh boy. Out of the... Cobalt Bomb. Got it. Okay, so you want to stay away from that. Let's help the healer up. Gotcha. Okay, so for that one, you need to stay near him initially. Alright, this looks like the regular Titan. Voice of the land. Crumbling down. That's probably gonna finish me. So that's spreading out. Now seismic wave. Alright, that's it. Let's see if everybody's ready. Alright. Tank Buster. Alright, and now for this one, we need to be behind this for his seismic wave. Because the other one goes away. Okay, so massive landslide. Alright, so we're doing better than last time. Alright, so get to his side like this. There we go. Looks like everybody got that. That looks like I need my wings out. Here come the bomb boulders again. I'm trying to use my reprisal on every time he uses Voice of the Land, so it reduces the amount of damage that everybody else is taking. Okay, and now we need... Alright, I didn't make that. Alright, get to his side, because he's turning into his cart form again. Oh, he does it twice! Alright, well now I know that he'll do it multiple times in a row. So with any luck, this one will be the kill. Here's Landslide. And now get out. Alright, he's in his car form. And that might have been for the best for Miss Yu there, because they were at 2 stacks of debuff. That way, if I would happen to go down, they would be able to pick up without the 2 stacks. Alright, wings! Here come those bomb bulgers again. Seismic wave. All right, here we go. He's transforming into his car form again. Or, no, he's not. Massive landslide. Okay, it looks like that's the end of that. So the healers are going to get everybody back up again. I'll help out as well. Alright, which way? He's not making any big. Car form. Alrighty. So everybody knows at least what they need to do now. Well, at least for the most part, I think. Part of the issue is the other tank is not doing mechanics, and that's giving them stacks. Like I said before. I'm gonna wait for this to resolve first. Okay. Actually, this will let me focus a little bit more on helping the healers as well here. Alright, so this is going to be fun with AoEs again. Boulders. This pattern, I think we just go like this. Since he doesn't make any grow. Turning into a car. Okay, I wasn't close enough to him. But it looks like this should take us to the end now. I can't stop that one. Crumbling down. 1%. And then seismic wave. And down goes Titan of the First. Hey, I just finished, actually, unless there's another boss after this one. Nope, looks like that's it. Alright, let's see what we got. No helmet piece. Oh wait, it's actually the gloves I want anyway, so let me roll for those. 48. Yeah, I'll try the bangles as well. Okay, so that gives me either a bangle or a neck piece. Giving it to the healer since that other tank kept getting stacks and wasn't doing what they needed to do. Alright, Reen. Welcome back. You must be exhausted. For a creature made of rock, he was a lot more agile than I was expecting. I wonder, was the Titan of your world a tough opponent too? Yes, if I'd put one foot wrong, I would have fallen to my doom. So all it would have taken is a momentary lapse of concentration. I don't like the sound of that. But more importantly, you've defeated another elemental being, which means we're a step closer to reclaiming the empty. I can't wait to see how much of a difference we've made this time. And let's do this as determination. Yeah, I saw that one too, Did we really do all this? Aye, it would appear that balance has returned to the element of Earth, and yet the transformation hath affected only the immediate vicinity, whereas the lands beyond this lake doth remain unchanged. 'Tis passing strange indeed. Did we do something wrong? Though this falleth short of the outcome I had envisioned, 'tis plain our efforts were not in vain. Mayhap this localized phenomenon is the result of an intersection of ethereal currents. Therefore, it is reasonable to assume that similar locations in the empty hath undergone comparable alterations. Then the ether will spread out from these points to cover the rest of... Reen! Reen! Looks like she'll need some time to recover. It's nothing. That didn't look like nothing to me. You better lie down for a while. No, really, I'm fine. Anyway, we've still got work to do. Nay, thine cred hath the right of it. 'Twould be unwise to exert thyself overmuch. I appreciate your concern, but I do wish you'd stop fussing. Reen, thou knowest not to strain thou dost place on thyself. Though the elements of water and earth hath been restored, continued exposure to the empty, stagnant aether may yet sap thee of thy remaining strength. Now that you mention it, I've been feeling a bit out of sorts ever since we got here. I should probably get away from the empty and rest for a while. Pray do so. Meanwhile, I shall remain here. The restoration of the first two elements hath produced unexpected results, and I require time to analyze our findings. However, I must ask thee to refrain from discussing our work in the empty, even with our closest comrades. Why? I thought they'd welcome the news. And indeed they shall, once we have more to show for our efforts. And so we don't break the continuity of the storyline. Nevertheless, this mission is one of the surpassing danger. I am loath to place our dearest friends at risk until absolutely necessary. You have their best interests at heart, I'm sure. But to be perfectly honest, I'd prefer not to keep secrets from people that I trust with my life. I don't want to make a habit of this, but I'll do as you ask. Seems to me that Reen isn't the only one who would benefit from a change of scenery. Our Sleeping Beauty would likely fare better in a more hospitable surrounding. We'll need to have our associate from the Crystarium organize a safe place for her to stay. If you and Prince could go on ahead and have a word with him in Mordsuk, we'll catch up with you once Urianger has finished whatever it is he needs to do. Perhaps thou too shouldst accompany her on the return journey. I dare say she would be glad of thy presence. No, not this time. She's come a long way since we first met, and I worry that relying on me too much will only hold her back. We won't be staying on the First forever. The time will come for Reen and I to part ways, and for her to follow her own path. I know you understand this too, Urianger. I see you trying to pass on as much of your knowledge as possible while you still can. And to her credit, she's actually taking most of it in. Reen is possessed of a natural affinity for aetherology, unlike some who shall remain unnamed. A natural affinity for staying awake during your lectures, more like. Though, come to think of it, she doesn't really take after me at all. However, likely she is predisposed to brooding in silence in lieu of voicing her concerns. Says the master, keeping his cards close to his chest. Anyway, Prince, you'd better take the Sky Slipper with Reen. It's true that she's been through a lot lately, but so have you. We'll need you to be ready for the challenges that lie ahead, so go on and get some rest. We shall await news of thy safe arrival in Amarang. Hey Joey, glad you could make it. And I'm kind of expecting this area is probably gonna become like the next relic area or something like that, or maybe just a brand new zone that we're going to explore at some point. So we'll see what happens here. It seemed like you were all having quite a serious discussion. I hope I haven't given you any cause for concern. Well, if you say so. I probably shouldn't stay in the empty any longer than necessary, though. So, do you want to take first shift piloting, or shall I? Frankly, I'm surprised you don't try teleporting. Phew, I'm glad I had you there to keep me company. I've no idea how I would have passed the time otherwise. Now that we're here, I need to find our contact from the Crystarium. But before that, I was hoping I could have a word with you. Something's been on my mind. This might not be the best place for it, though. Those creatures over there look a bit hungry. When I first spoke to Thancred and Urianger about what I'd sensed in the empty, part of me wished we could have just left it alone. I guess I was scared of what we'd find. But now that we've found Eden, I know that I made the right choice. And if I'd given in to my fear, I probably would have spent the rest of my life wondering what might have been. From now on, whenever I hear that voice inside me telling me to run away, to hide, I won't listen. That's not who I am anymore. Even so, all the courage in the world is not going to help me decide what we should do with that girl when she wakes up. Do you remember what she said right before she passed out? Why am I here? What is happening? What if she's being controlled or forced to act against her will? Well, we did kind of find her in the clutches of a monster. Whatever the case, it's clear that she's not a monster. She's a person, like you or me. Obviously, she knows something about Eden, and we need all the information we can get. But more than that, I just want to talk to her, to find out who she is, and if there's anything we can do to help her. On the other hand, we mustn't forget that she's already attacked us once. What's to say she won't try it again when she wakes up? If she keeps us from reclaiming the empty, it will be all my fault. It's no good. I can't make up my mind. What do you think we should do, Prince? There's not much we can do until she's awake. Let's cross that bridge when we come to it. I'm sorry. I probably shouldn't be trying to decide her fate before we even know who she is. In the meantime, we'll have to be patient and hope that she comes around soon. Until then, I'll try to concentrate on the here and now. Speaking of which, I still need to see Urianger's errands. The person we're on our way to meet lent us the Sky Slipper and most of the apparatus we've been using. And since we've been sworn to secrecy, I assume the same applies to him and his colleagues. Anyway, once that's over with, we can find a place to relax. Alright, and it looks like we complete the quest up here. Now that we're here, allow me to introduce you to two members of our inner circle, or whatever you want to call it. That's Gul, who's interested in trading for any relics we find in the empty. Apparently he mostly deals in exotic weapons and whatnot, but he's agreed to keep us supplied with whatever else we can't get from the Crystarium. Now, the one we came to meet should be around here somewhere. Ah, Rean. What a relief it is to see you returned unharmed from your expedition. I'm sorry to have kept you waiting. We were gone a bit longer than we expected. Prince, I'd like you to meet Luri. It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance. As representative of the Settlement Council, I am here to oversee the delivery of equipment deemed necessary to your mission. I will be on hand to provide any assistance you may require. Actually, there's something we'd like you to take care of. It's probably not best to talk about it in the middle of the market, though. I'll take it from here, Prince. You should get some rest. But before you go, I'd like to thank you for everything you've done. We still have a long road ahead of us, but if we give it our all, there's nothing we can't handle. Alrighty. And I guess I'll take the tenacity materia. I see. Though it is mere supposition, it would behoove us to proceed with caution. Moreover, I would refrain from discussing the matter with Rean and Prince until we know more. Well, I appreciate you telling me, even if it is too soon to be sure. I'm the one watching over her, after all. Oracle of Darkness. I pray it is not true. Now that's a little foreboding. But at the same time, it's not like we didn't get the hint of that before with the void scent that did appear there. So, it's a question of, are we going to actually see another form of the Cloud of Darkness, potentially, but, we'll have to see how things play out. And, yes, I know that they can exchange it, and then there's also one in Yulmore I've been using as well, so, and in fact, I might as well grab that real quick. Since most of tonight I've been grabbing the minor slots, since I'm planning to get the rest of it through the tomestones once those unlock in 2 weeks. Let's see. It's either going to be the bracelet or the earring. Let's see what the bracelet has. Determination and skill speed versus determination and tenacity. I think that's actually going to be a downgrade. So, what about the earring? Critical hit and determination. That's pretty much the best that you could get out of gear as a tank. So let's grab that. And then I'll also grab the bracelet once the tomestones come out for that. And that brings my item level up to 440. Alright. And so, with that, we have completed the first portion of the Eden Raid. The next portion is going to be out in patch 5.2, and we will see what happens in that. Probably the first of those bosses are going to be more the elements, but we'll see if this darkness actually does come to pass. We'll also find out who this other character is, if that actually is them. So, if you've enjoyed today's content, please do make sure to subscribe and click the bell to be notified whenever I do go live or whenever I put out a new video. In addition to that, I also have a Discord. Link to that is in the description below. Thank you for joining me today. This is PrinceBrightstar signing off. I'll catch you next time.